Hey, my name is PolishLynx and welcome to Sakura Fox Adventure. We've got the third part, third episode, well, and we are greeted with this very nice view. What? When I wake up, I find myself in an unfamiliar room. The walls and floor are made of wood, and a shelf in the corner filled with books. The room is small, but it's certainly comfortable, and the warm sunlight streaming through the window dyes everything gold. I wince, wiping my eyes with my hands. Where am I? I'm sure I've never been here before. This is nothing like my room back in Yamatai, with its tatami floor and the sliding doors. All things considered, I should probably be unnerved. But in fact, it's the exact opposite. The bed sheets feel soft against my skin, and the sunlight is deliciously warm. I can hear birds chirping in the trees beyond the window and smell a delicious mouth-watering aroma in the air. This place feels like a pleasant dream. If I wanted, I could sit back in bed and fall fast asleep. My eyes are already halfway shut when... Huh? I looked at myself, blinking. That's when I realized that I'm almost completely naked, save for my underwear. Which is not naked, which is clothing, which is safe. I mean, how can it not be safe? YouTube, right? You allow nudity after all. Looking at your freaking originals. So this is safe. I don't care. Anyway. Wait a sec! Okay, now it's time to panic. Where'd my clothes go? Did somebody strip me? I know I'm cute, but this is taking things too far. It wasn't me, by the way. What in the world happened last night? Oh, have you woken up already? I instinctively throw my arms around my chest in an attempt to conceal my breasts. Not that it does much good. If anything, I could only succeed in squashing my books together. They look even more alluring to potential predators. That's true. The woman who just entered the room doesn't seem to be interested in my body. She simply smiles, her eyes crinking in the corners. I'm so relieved to see you're alright. Oh! I sigh heavily, the tension fading from my body. I know who this woman is, for my memories of last night are spotty at best. This is the night who ran the goldfish scooping stall. I believe her name was... Juniper, right? Junie's fine. Junie smiles at me, her hands linked together at her front. And if you're wondering about your clothes, I hung them outside to dry. Oh, I see. Safe and sound. I glance out the window at the expanse of grass beyond, what I assume is Junie's home. In the garden, I can see a washing line set up, with my clothes hanging from it. I guess that makes sense. I didn't think you were a panty thief, but it's nice to have a little confirmation. Of course I'm not a panty thief. You're still wearing your panties. I want to try those too, but I thought it'd be a little too much. I mean, we've only just met. Taking off all her clothes would be a bit forward. A bit. Junie toys with a lock of her pale hair. Her cheeks flushed. So, despite being night, she can get embers too. Nice. How cute. This human might be fun to tease. Just a little. Yeah. But first, I have one or two questions I'd like to ask her. Why did you put my clothes in the first place? I don't remember doing that. Well, you wouldn't. You were passed out. So you lured me back to your home in the dead of the night, then pushed me onto your bed and stripped me bare. Don't you have any shame, woman? I had to. There was no other way. Your clothes were all dirty, and they were all wet. I was afraid that if I let you sleep like that, you'd catch a cold. I'm not a pervert, I promise. I was just trying to help. That's what a pervert would say. For a girl who claims she isn't a pervert, you sure are staring at my boobs a lot. Juni's eyes snap open. Her cheeks blister redder and redder until she bears a striking resemblance to a bonfire. Since Juni's skin is so pale, she turns red easily. It makes for quite a sharp contrast with her pale, almost ashen hair. And skin, actually. I'll have to keep that in mind for future reference. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to stare, I just couldn't help it. Understandable, girl. I wasn't sure where else to put my eyes. It's alright, you don't need to be bashful. I know, as far as hoaxes go, I am very beautiful. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Still not Tamamo, who is the most beautiful of all, but you are beautiful. I have long limbs and a cute fluffy tail and what? And I was just thinking, you can see my tail, can't you? That's right, it's every bit as cute and fluffy as you said. And my ears? Perched right on top of your head. Then that must mean you and I'm a Foxgirl. Wow, what a twisted logic. Of course. That was made quite apparent after the events of last night. I know you're a Foxgirl, and I think everybody else in Warner Village does too. What? That can be true. It's magic to hide my identity. Nobody should know who I am. They didn't at first, I must admit. You had us all fooled, but your secret's well and truly out now. I don't know what spell you were using to hide your ears and tail, but I think it must be defective. Maybe you could get a refund? Sure. That's right, that's what I am. Ohana was right, I never should have come here. Ohana? My tutor. She said my magic wasn't good enough to enter human village unnoticed, and she was right. I thought I knew better than her, but I don't know anything. Now I messed up everything up. Sure, that's absolutely correct language. I press a hand against my mouth. My stomach churns, and I can feel bile rising in my throat. I feel sick, and the rich, milky smell in the air doesn't exactly help. Was Junie in the middle of cooking something? Maybe I interrupted her, just like I interrupted her last night. It's all beginning to come back to me now in bits and pieces. Whoa. Flashback! My trek through the woods. The fish scooping game. The cries of alarm. The shouts. The screams. Is that a Foxgirl?
How long has she been here? What's beast like that doing in our village?
God damn it, too many voices. If we let her stay here too long, she'll bring for sure misfortune down on all of us. Yeah, cool.
She isn't welcome here.
Villagers, those villagers. Goddamn bullies. I cringed, my tail twitching with delayed panic. When those humans realized what I was. Who you were, god damn it. Then they all turned on me. They treated me like I was monster. Except... And to think, I thought humans and Foxgirls could be friends. What a ridiculous idea. I really am stupid. Mikoto! Hey Mikoto! Are you okay? I'm fine. It just occurred to me. If it wasn't for you, Junie, I'd be dead by now. You saved me. No. Thinking of it, anybody would have done the same. You're sure about that? But nobody did. You are the only one who helped me out. You saved my life, but I have nothing to give you in return. You really don't need to give me anything. But I insist. As the future head of the Yamati clan, I can't be in humans' debt. It would be unseemly. My mother's never forgive me. Not if that she'd forgive me anyway if she finds out what I've done. She'd flip out at Hannah too. I might have miscalculated a little. I've never been the best at math. But I at least need to make things right with you. I can't give you any money and I don't have any jewels. But I have my body. If you like, I'll let you bury your head in my boobs. No, I appreciate the thought, but that really won't be necessary. Oh, don't be so modest. You helped me out, so I've got to do something for you in return. It's an eye for an eye, you know. Now, why don't you touch my boobs? You can even grow them a little. I've seen how much you like them. You can't stop staring at them. No, it's fine. I don't want to take advantage of you. Oh, I see. So, my boobs aren't good enough for you. It must be because I'm Foxgirl. I know you humans don't like my kind. You're probably afraid I'll taint you. That's not true at all. The others in my village might think that way, but they are old and jaded and piece of shits. They can't see beyond their own silly prejudices, but I can. I don't care if you're a Foxgirl, you're still a living being with thoughts and feelings. I saw how upset you were back at the festival and how badly you wanted to fit in. And that's why I decided to defend you. She's so nice. I can't stand people who harass those who have done nothing wrong. It's just just. I became a knight so I could fight on behalf of people like you. But, surely you want some kind of reward? No, I don't. I didn't help you because I wanted any underhanded rewards. Simply performing a good deed was more than enough for me. I don't get her, to be honest. I'm happy you recovered, so please don't force yourself. Right now, you need to rest. That's right. Pout. I look at my lap, suddenly abashed. I only want to make amends with Junie, but it seems my overzealous attitude has made things even worse. Ohana always says I'm to rush. I guess she's right. I'm sorry, I'm an idiot. That's how I got into this huge mess to begin with. I just don't think, and now I've placed a huge burden on you. I'm getting in your way, and I have no way to pay you either. You're not getting my way, silly. I brought you back to my home because I want to do. This was my choice, so you have no need to apologize. I'm old enough to accept the consequences of my actions. Right. I blink at Junie hopefully. I sure don't want to feel my boobs. They're very nice and soft. I'm sure they are. I mean, you're very attractive, but well, I would... Junie's fingers twitch at their sides. For a few minutes, I wonder if she's going to take me up on my offer. I wait and wait, but... I sniff, my nose twitching. Is it just my imagination, or is something burning? Burning? Junie looks at me for a few moments, her expression impassive before. Oh no! I forgot about the porridge on the stove! I'm sorry about the porridge. I hope you can still eat it at least. No, it's fine. I blow on my charred porridge, which is still steaming hot, then bring the spoon to my lips. I guess the porridge does taste a little weird, but it's not entirely inedible. Besides, it'd be rude to complain about now, after Junie went to all the effort making for me. She didn't have to. Neither did she have to rescue me last night. She put herself in danger to help me, a stranger who she hardly knows. She really is kind. Thank you, Junie, I appreciate it. I'm not just thanking her for the porridge or my newly dyed clothes. I want to let her know how grateful I am for everything she's done. Thanks. The porridge would taste better if I hadn't let it burn, though. It's a pity. Junie pouts. Now does she? I don't want you to get the wrong idea. I am a competent cook. I promise. I'm sure you're a better cook than me, at least. Now I'm curious. What sort of food do Foxgirls eat? Mostly fish and nuts and berries. Whatever we can hunt in the forests, or really. We don't have fancy cuisine like this. Porridge isn't that fancy, you know. It's not? No, it's quite cheap actually. Maybe I should have made you something more hearty. Like an omelette, or maybe some toast. But I thought porridge would be easier on your stomach. You know, I think they made this on purpose. Like, they somehow know when I will have, you know, stop episode, start the next one. And they are like, okay, we'll put some food over here. Let's make you hungry again. Anyway, I'm not sure if you could handle anything too heavy after... Well... Junie's voice trails off. But I know what she's referring to. The rocks, spears and swords. The back of my head still hurts. Though my scalp stopped bleeding, Junie must have soaked my wounds in warm water while I was still insensible. My lifeless body sprawled on her bed. What would I do without her? Do you feel a bit better, at least? I feel fine. You don't have a headache? Any aching limbs? Broken bones? I don't think so. No, I'm just a little sleepy. Thank goodness. I was sorry about you. You just collapsed into my arms like a little doll. Sorry about that. I was kind of stressed at the time. Does that mean you carry me back to your home? Gee, now I feel embarrassed. I hope I wasn't too heavy. You're fine. If anything, I was concerned about how light you were. Smooth. You should eat a bit more to get some color back in your cheeks. I'm entirely convinced when you say you're fine. I mean, not entirely. Why don't you try your porridge with this? Junie passes me a jar filled to the brim with a red sticky substance. Jam? It's sweet, so it should help mask how burned the porridge is. What is it? It's strawberry jam. Oh, delicious, damn. Strawberry jam is probably my favorite. Haven't you seen it before? Well, I've definitely had strawberries before. Let me give this a try. I unscrew the jar, then stick a spoon in the sticky contents. I ladle some of the jam into my porridge, mixing the oats, then bring my spoon to my lips. I'm not expecting too much from this so-called jam, was it? And yet... to my surprise, it tastes pretty good. In fact, it's better than good. I know. This is delicious. I'm glad. I made the jam myself, you know. Yeah, strawberry jam is goddamn good. You did? But it's so sweet. It tastes like fresh nectar. You really are talented. Not really. That's what Junie says, but the awkward smile on her face still screams, yes, praise me more! More! Junie might be a human, but she's not all that hard to read. Maybe we humans and Foxgirls aren't so dissimilar after all. Of course you aren't. Well, except for the tail and ears, right? But... so what? Still... goddamn lovely. That being the case, why did the villagers of Warren react so negatively towards me? Because they are a piece of shit, that's why. I never met any of them before, but it seemed as though they truly hated me. Hey Mikoto, are you alright? Oh yeah, I'm alive at least, that's something, if it wasn't for you. The events of last night are still blurry. Why are we still repeating this again? It's like the third time. But they're starting to come back one by one. They're not the most pleasant of recollections. Is it any wonder I feel so blue? Did Fallon really mean to kill me? That is hard to say. I'm gonna answer the question, yes. Fallon isn't a bad woman. At least I don't think she is. She's always been friendly, reliable person. I think she's nice, at least. I'm not so sure about that. She threatened to kill me. She threatened me, yes, but I don't know if she would have gone through with it. The answer is yes. Fallon might be an idiot, but she's not a cruel person. She doesn't like crushing flies or tearing spider webs. You know, usually when someone says about someone this, like they don't kill flies or whatever, the person that it is said about that, well, they are kinda crazy. So I think she only intended to scare you, so you'd run away. Then she'll go back in the village and tell everybody that she's slain you. She's able to brag without dirtying her hands. And you think people would believe that? No. Sorry, I'm sorry, but I highly doubt that. That's what I think, at least. But it doesn't matter because I stepped in before things could get out of hand. Yeah, you did, my hero. But putting Fallon on to one side, none of the other villagers seem to like me much either. Your chief in particular. I shudder. Who? He was so scary. Oh, well, Unwin is just an old coot. His views on the world are hopelessly outdated. Yeah. That's true about a lot of older people. He ordered the villagers to attack me. Well, he would. It's because he's old and prejudiced, and he believes all the silly tales his mother told him when she was young. Oh. So that must be when the dinosaurs were still around, right? What tales? That Foxgirls tear out human hearts, bath in their blood, and all sorts of nonsense. He has no proof, of course, but bigotry doesn't need proof. Unwin believes these stories, and that's proof enough for him. Wow. That's funny. My tutor Hannah told me stories like that about humans. She said you're a weak, violent race. That's true. And you wouldn't hesitate to curse creatures you don't understand. That's also true. She never said anything about Foxgirls hurting humans for. Well, perhaps we're both as bad as the other. We all have our own prejudices. If our positions were reversed, and I had stumbled into her domain, maybe you would have come to my defense instead. I doubt that. My magical powers are pretty weak. That's why I only have one tail, you see. Yeah, I was wondering about that. I didn't want to ask in case it was rude, but... Junie pierced my tail, a thoughtful look on her face. I thought Major Foxgirls were supposed to have 9 tails. Oh, no. That's not how it works. Only the most powerful Foxgirls have 9 tails. Usually they are several hundred centuries old. Most Foxgirls in my clan have 3 or 4 tails at the maximum. My mom is the only one with 9. And I'm the only adult with 1. At my age I should have 2 tails by now, but my magic is too weak, so it won't manifest. I get a lot of flack for it back home. I get treated like an outcast by my fellow Foxgirls and by you humans. I'm starting to feel like I don't belong anywhere. Oh, well, you're not alone in that. Many of the villagers in Valor think I'm strange too. I guess we're both weird. That being the case, why don't you stay here? Huh? I stared at Junie, my mouth hanging open. You mean I can live with you? For a few days at least. You said you were well enough, but I'm worried you might have a concussion. You were bleeding quite badly when I examined you last night, and I wouldn't want you collapsing in the forest. That's very kind of you, but... I looked down my lap, my fingers twined together. We're in the Warden village right now. The humans here like me. If you found me, they'd hurt me, and they might hurt you too. No they won't. But how can you be so certain? Nobody found out you're here. My home is built in Warden itself. It's on the outskirts of the village, half hidden in the woods. The only person who knows I brought you here is Fallon, and I trust her not to rat you out. That was our childhood friends, and she owes me a few favors. If she does betray me, however... What? I'll make her rue the day she was born. Junie gestured towards her sword, which is lying sheathed on one of the chairs at the kitchen table. You mean you'll hurt her? Oh no, I won't hurt anybody, not willingly anyway. If it's in self-defense for... Junie cracks her knuckles ominously. I like her, you know. Well, that's another matter. Right. I shift away from Junie, my tail twitching. You look so kind, but you're actually kind of scary. Only when the topic of justice comes up. I can't stand people who hurt those I need to defend themselves. It just isn't right. You did nothing wrong, Mikoto. You don't deserve to be punished for being born a Foxgirl. If anybody tells you otherwise, they are wrong. Right, I see how it is. You're certainly passionate. I didn't think Junie would be so fiery. She doesn't look the sort. With her pale skin and her clear blue eyes. But I suppose looks can be deceiving. I think she might be more impulsive than I am. Then again, that might be a good thing. If she wasn't, she never would have saved me. I really do owe her. Now, don't you want to stay here, Mikoto? I don't mind if you do. I have more than enough food, and I don't mind if you want to use my bed. I can sleep on the floor. The floor? Is that really okay? It's fine. I mean, I'm a knight. It wasn't so very long ago that I fought in the army, and I'm used to far harsher conditions than this. You don't need to worry. Junie smiles. I'll be just fine. Then, if you're sure it's okay, I pause, pondering. I know I should go back to Yamatai as soon as possible. I've never been away from home for so long, and Ohana will be worried sick. But the thought of going back to Yamatai now, when my fun managed to escape, is far too oppressive. My adventure in Warren Village didn't get off to the most auspicious start. It's true, but now in Junie, I don't want to go back home. I want to learn much more. Junie? What? And about the rest of the village. Okay. It might be possible, but it really would be nice if humans and Foxgirl could put their differences behind them. I really do wish we could become friends. Okay, I kind of expected to get some choice, but I didn't. Where are my choices, game? Anyway. Hey Junie, where are we going? I just thought it would be nice to get some fresh air. My home isn't very big, and staying inside for too long can get claustrophobic, don't you think? Well, you have a point. Being a Foxgirl, I'm accustomed to spending time among nature. I feel more at home among the towering oak trees of the forest than anywhere else. It's a nice warm day. Birds start twittering among the trees and fronds of swaying grass brush against my ankles. When I inhale, I can smell the rich, loamy earth. Twigs snap beneath the heels of my shoes and the leaves whisper on the trees. Under normal circumstances, I'd be happy to wander through the forest, particularly with a pretty girl like Junie in tow, but what if we run into anybody from the World Village? We'll be fine. I mean, wrong voice, didn't I? We'll be fine, Mikoto. You worry too much. Ohana would say my problem is that I don't worry enough. If I need to worry a little more about my future, I would have come to Warren Village to begin with. Oh, sorry. But it's too late to fuss about that now. I just don't want you to get into trouble, that's all. I know we haven't known each other all that long, but you're nice to me, Junie, and you're important to me. Mikoto. Junie pauses in her trek and turns to face me. I'm flattered, and the feeling is more than mutual. I care about you too. Junie's hand rises to the hilt of her sword, which is strapped about her back. That's why I don't let anybody hurt you, no matter what. You mean it? Cross my heart. Thanks, I guess, but it seems kinda weird you'll be so willing to go out of your way for a girl you barely know. Are you always such a goody to shoes? I have heard people say I'm too generous, yes, but I don't think that's a bad thing. I don't like seeing other people suffer, especially not cute fox girls like you. Junie giggles and ruffles the top of my head. Her fingers brush the base of my ears, and a thrill of pleasure tiptoes up and down my spine. Why does her hands feel so good? Huh. With skills like this, she could start her own massage parlor. Her gentle caresses are totally wasted on being a knight. June wasn't made to swing around a sword. She should be fond with me instead. Damn. Never in my life, I think, I wanted words like that to be said to me. Anyway. Hey, Mikoto, you've gone very quiet all of a sudden. Your face is turning red too. You don't have a fever, do you? No, I don't think so. I tried to refute Juni's question, but it's hard when my face is redder than the strawberry jam I had at breakfast this morning. My cheeks are positively burning up here. Juni leans her face a little closer to mine, her eyes narrowed. You said you felt well this morning, but you did have a rough time of it yesterday. Perhaps you needed a bit more time to recover. Should we go back home instead? No, I don't want to go back. I've gotten in your way enough already. You told me if I ruined your plans. But you're so red. Yeah, that's cause I shift awkwardly from foot to foot. My ears are sensitive. Sensitive? That's right, when you rub them, it felt kinda good. Really good. Oh, I see. Juni blinks, comprehension dawning upon her pretty face. Part of me hoped she'd continue petting my head, but as might be expected, she draws her hand away, her face flustered. Sorry, Mikoto, I know. There's thought about Foxgirls that's a mystery to me. No, it's totally fine. It's not like I'm mad or anything. In fact, it's quite the opposite. I wish Juni'd pet my head again. Ohana sometimes pats my head when I do a good job during our training sessions, but her touches are too soft and light. It's almost for she's afraid of breaking me. It feels different with Juni. She might be a stranger, but... Anyway, it looks like we're almost at our destination. What? I was so lost in my thoughts, I stopped paying my surroundings and it heat, but now Juni mentions it, we have walked pretty far. The forest is behind us now. The tree is giving way to a large meadow. The field is filled with long swaying blades of grass decorated with wild flowers. There is a bubbling brook, not too far away, hidden among the trees. I can see it, but I can hear it. Crystalline water sloshing against the rocks with comforting regularity. My nose switches. I can smell something sweet and mild. Primroses, maybe? I've never been to this place before, but it makes quite the first impression. Wow! This place really is beautiful. Isn't it just... Whatever. I knew you'd like it here, Mikoto. I used to come here to train a lot when I was a younger girl. I was a young girl. God damn it, you are young already, for sure still. I'd work up a sweat, then clean myself off in the brook in the woods. You know, you should train right now to sweat a bit and then... and I hadn't been back in a while for... You mean you've been training to be a knight ever since you were a little kid? Yeah, we want to see what's it like now for. That's right, I always want to help those in need, and being a knight seemed like the most practical way to go about it. Back when I was young, I didn't have a real sword. I used to practice my swings with a wooden stick over and over until I wore myself out. I wasn't very good at fighting at first. My swings were too wild. I'd lash out and then I'd overbounce and fall over. I always end up covered in dirt. But I didn't give up. I worked long and hard, and in the end, my perseverance paid off. When I was 16, I was accepted in the army, and I moved to the capital so I could continue with my training. I served in the army for 8 years. So we are 24 only. I fought in a lot of wars and did my best to keep the country safe. Wow! Then there is no wonder Fallon seems to respect you so much. You really are a hero. Thank you, but I don't know if I'd go quite that far. I'd become a knight for fame or fortune. I just want to help others. I believe that was what I was doing, and my time in the army was fulfilling, but... A sigh. All that blood and death can get a girl down, you know. Oh, I can hardly imagine. I spy with Han all the time, but I've never been in a fight. I've never really seen anybody die. I've never killed anybody either, but Junie, despite her gentle smile, her soft countenance, must have. She served in the army, after all, and she'd fought in wars. Oh. This sword strapped to her back isn't for decoration. I can't help but be impressed, and a little unnerved. Junie doesn't look like a killer. She's far too soft and gentle. I think she can, you know, switch. Like, once you flip that switch, but her resolve is even harder than iron. That's probably a good thing, Mikoto. You don't want to watch other people die. It's harrowing. But you did it for 8 years! Yeah, I did, and it started to wear me down. I told myself I was fighting for the sake of my country, but so many disputes were over silly things, like land, or resources. Yeah, it didn't feel like I was fighting for a particularly noble cause. I had to wonder if I was really helping people, or if I was stroking my own ego. Plus, I felt a little homesick. It's kind of hard to believe, huh? Compared to the capital, Warren Village is a tiny pinprick on the landscape. It hardly even registers. There's not much here and there's little to do, but I made fond memories here during my childhood. And I cared for it all the same. No, I think I can understand that. Oh, god damn it. I've lived in Yamatai all my life, but now I'm free from it. I almost miss it. It's been 1 day. Almost, but not quite. Exactly, because it's been only 1 day. I'm not ready to go back just yet. I left the army a couple of years ago and came back to my old home. My parents moved away, but Warren Village is largely the same as I remember. Unwin is just as petty and close-minded as always. Fallen is still earnest and hardworking, and there are fireworks, the Harvest Festival. The regularity is comforting, I guess, but I was starting to think I'd been here too long already. I was thinking about returning to the army. Junie smiles at me, her eyes soft and gentle. But I can hardly do that now. You're here. Huh? I'm sorry if I was getting in your way. You don't need to apologize. I'm glad I met you. Your company is incredibly interesting. And I'd rather fight to protect you than fight to seize the land that doesn't rightfully belong to me. It seems like a more valuable use of my time. I absolutely get you, girl. Are you sure about that? Quite sure now. I am bringing you out here so I could talk your tail off. That wasn't what I intended. There's actually something I'd like to, you know, the two of us to do. You said a little back in my cottage that you weren't the best at fighting. And when I was younger, I always came here with a wooden stick to train.
So, here is a wooden stick for you. Go ahead and train.
I know you're still recovering, but I thought it might be good if I gave you a few lessons in self-defense. It will help you fend off any attacks from other humans if you get into another sticky situation. And physical exercise is an excellent way to soothe the mind. But we are actually waiting for what's happening afterwards, the exercise, right? What do you think? I bet it's her thinking as well. Anyway, Junie's eyes spark with zealous energy. Do you want to spar with me? I might not be as good as tutor as Hannah, did you say her name was? But I have a lot of experience and I'd love to share it with you. I mean, I'm still not convinced now. Hannah was good of tutor, but... Well, I don't know. Hannah would probably be jealous. She's quite possessive, you know. And that's quite annoying, you know. I understand. I would be possessive too if I had a student as cute as you. Damn, you're right! How shameless! Do you really think flattery can pervert my moral compass? Maybe not, but... Junie grins. If you agree to spar me, I'll pat your head. Will that help you sway you? Or... I pause. She's got you. Junie's got me, and she knows it. I don't particularly want to spar with Junie. I'm terrible at physical combat, and I'm afraid she'll laugh at me. But with a winning condition like that on the line, there is no way I can refuse. Junie's hands feel way too good, damn it! I'm completely at her mercy. Hey! I thought you said you'd go easy on me! I said no such thing. I want to train you, Mikoto, and there is no point if I don't give it my all. If you get into any scrapes and I'm not around to help, you'll have to defend yourself, and your pursuers won't all be as soft as Fallen. They certainly won't go easy on you. I know that, but this is impossible. I haven't struck you once. Then you'll just have to try harder. Do you really think I'm going to stand here and let you beat me? Why you? I like Junie at all, but she's being pretty infuriating right now. I'd be content if I could land one hit on her, but her skills are out of this world. She intercepts every single one of my strikes with relative ease, the smile on her face never fading. It's almost like she's toying with me. I mean, she probably is. This is really frustrating. You're even worse than Rohana. I've never been able to beat her either, but at least she acts concerned about me while we're sparring. She lets me rest my head on her lap when we're done, and she runs her hands through my hair. She's way nicer than you. I'm sorry, Mikoto. It's a force of habit. I was in the army for 8 years, remember? I was trained rigorously for hours every day. I'm used to this kind of training, and I was taught not to show pity for my foes. I like you a good deal, but my personal feelings are irrelevant now. If you want to learn how to fight, you must give it your all. Yeah, like I ain't heard that before. This'd be so much easier if I could use magic. Then I wouldn't have to bother with weapons. I could just set your hair on fire. If you do something that cruel, I am glad you can't use any magic. A girl's hair is her pride and joy. It takes effort to keep this smooth and silky. Give me a break. Your hair's still all soft and silky though we're supposed to be fighting. You're not even sweating. Why am I the only one who's getting tired? It's because you don't know how to control your body yet, so as I do. Take some deep breaths, you need to focus. But you're only a puny human, you shouldn't be able to beat me so easily. I might be a puny human, but I have a lot of experience. I flatter myself, I know my way around the battlefield far better than you do. I'm accustomed to dispatching my enemies, and I can do so without tangling my hair or smearing my lipstick. You don't seem to be using any lipstick. What a skill to have. Then I won't hold back, I'm gonna give it my all. I swing my makeshift weapon at Junie with even more force than before, but she deflects the blow easily. Too slow. I swing again, my tail swishing with agitation, but Junie continues to deflect my attacks. No matter what I do, it's not working. This is hopeless. No, it isn't. Nothing is really hopeless. Not if you continue to try. You just need to focus some more. And don't telegraph your attacks quite so much. Sometimes subtlety can be a more effective weapon than brute force. Subtlety, huh? Then how about this? I launch at Junie, swinging the stick from an angle this time. But I miscalculated. My poor ankle twists against the ground and a burst of pain shoots through my body. I drop my weapon to the ground before Junie has a chance to deflect it. And the curtsy lands on my foot. Ow! I jump back, whimpering in pain, then stumble. I'm falling! Hey, Mikoto! Junie throws her stick to one side. She reaches out with one arm to catch me, but it's too late. I stumble backwards, landing on the ground in an elegant heap. My rear is stuck up in the air, my tail twitching, while my head is pressed against the dirt. How do you even manage that? I spit a mouthful of grassy saliva on the ground, then hold myself into a sitting position. My hair is tangled and my face is covered in smooths of dirt. What an inauspicious end to my first training session with Junie. This is really hacking and embarrassing. This called for a CG, to be honest. I guess it doesn't matter who trains me. I'm trouble fighter through and through. Oh no, 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 no. You didn't do that badly, Mikoto. Really? Is that your honest opinion?
Well,
Jing glanced to one side. Her lower lip trembles. Her shoulders shake. Then with a loud snort, Junie burst into peals of laughter. Gee, thanks! I'm sorry, Mikoto. It's just a look on the face. It's far too precious. I know you tried hard, but... Gee! I pull myself to my feet, trembling uneasily, and wipe a few clods of dirt from my cheek. Some instructor you are. This is precisely why I didn't want to fight you in the first place. I knew this would happen. I'm so clumsy. It's okay, Mikoto. We can't all be good at everything. I wasn't very good when I first started training either. Junie's attempts to... you already said that. Junie's attempts to flatter my injured ego might be more effective if she hadn't been sniggering about my failure less than 5 seconds prior. As it is, however, her words smack of insincerity. I know she's trying to cheer me up, but... You said you were a child when you first started training. Yeah, and... I'm not a child, I'm 25 for goodness sake. 25 and only have one lousy tail. I can use magic and I can use weapons. I'm such a screw up. Hey now, don't be like that. You did your best and I'm proud of you. Things might not have concluded in a satisfactory way, but it isn't the end of the world. There is always tomorrow. Exactly. Tomorrow? That's right, you can stay with me for as long as you want, and I'm not going to go anywhere. I'll support you, no matter what happens, so it's too early for you to give up on yourself. I think that's the proper English there, but maybe I'm wrong. I believe in you, even if you don't. Yeah, girl. Believe in Junie that believes in you. Totally not a stolen quote. But we're virtual strangers. Where's all this ill-founded confidence coming from? Where? You know what? With time, I feel like the more I record at night, the worse I am. Like, I don't know. And honestly, I feel better recording during the day, but when there is no option like that, anyway, I don't know. I just have a hunch, is all. A hunch? No matter how lacking your skill may be right now, I know you're not the sort of person to give up. You can do it. I'm sure you can. If you put your mind to it, you can do anything. You just need to keep doing your best. Sometime it's gonna be like that. Alright, it says the next day, so let's end the episode. And we'll continue tomorrow. For now, hope you enjoyed. And we'll see where the story goes on. Bye bye.